A Day on the Focus. Hey everyone, and welcome back to A Day on the Focus. It's Anne here, your friendly neighborhood history buff, ready to dive into the fascinating events of January 23rd. Buckle up, because today's historical roller coaster is a wild one. First off, let's rewind way back to 393 AD. Little Honorius, a mere 8 years old, gets the ultimate promotion, co-emperor of Rome. I bet his parents were thrilled, or maybe terrified. Imagine the tantrums. Fast forward a few centuries, and we land in 1556. Brace yourselves, folks, because this is where it gets truly epic, or rather, earth-shatteringly epic. The Shaanxi earthquake hits China, and we're talking potentially 830,000 deaths. That's a number that makes you pause and appreciate the solid ground beneath your feet. Then there's 1579, when the Union of Utrecht forms a Protestant republic in the Netherlands. A big deal for religious freedom, but I imagine it was also a bit of a paperwork nightmare. Think of all the treaty signings and border disputes. Let's jump ahead to 1795. French cavalry charging across a frozen sea? Sounds like something out of a movie, and it's even more dramatic than a chase scene in a James Bond film. They captured Dutch ships on horseback. I'm picturing quite the icy scramble. And if you thought the cavalry was crazy, wait until you hear about 1870. The Marias Massacre in Montana 173. Native Americans, mostly women and children, killed by U.S. cavalry. A grim reminder of a dark chapter in American history. We get a bit of good news in 1849, with Elizabeth Blackwell becoming the first female doctor in the U.S. A massive leap forward for women's rights, and a whole lot of perseverance. 1904 brings the Ålesund fire in Norway. 10,000 people homeless, and Kaiser Wilhelm II stepping in to fund the rebuilding? Talk about a generous, and arguably publicity-seeking gesture. 1957 is a day of joyful absurdity. Walter Frederick Morrison sells the rights to his flying disc, later renamed the Frisbee. I hope he got a good deal. And finally, we end the day with 1967, marking the official birth of Milton Keynes' England as a planned city. Talk about urban planning on a massive scale. Creative story. It was a blustery January 23rd, and the wind howled like a banshee through the newly built streets of Milton Keynes. Agnes, a recent transplant from the countryside, shivered in her new flat. She'd traded her quaint village life for the ambitious project of the planned city, spurred on by a news report about Elizabeth Blackwell, a woman who dared to break barriers, a symbol of the progress that Milton Keynes, in its own way, represented. News of the Shaanxi earthquake of 1556 played on the old radio, a stark contrast to her new, modern surroundings. It was a world of stark differences, this new city, a place built on the dreams of a better future, a place where even a seemingly impossible project, like conquering the vast, barren landscape into homes and community, could flourish. The wind died down, as Agnes, looking out on the horizon of the new city, smiled. She might be in a planned town, but her future certainly felt unplanned, and utterly exhilarating. That's all the time we have for today's historical journey, Fields of Else. Join me tomorrow for another exciting episode of A Day on the Focus.